Hello! In this unscripted video, I mainly want to talk about what's next for the channel and kind of my dream rally sim for some kind of future one day. But first of all, I made a little farewell trailer from, in my opinion, the best conditions you can have in Dirt Rally 2, when the game really felt the most immersive. I put that into a little montage and yeah.
Left long, tightens 3. 1 right long, the bumps maybe. Into 6 left. Into 5 right long, tightens. Into 6 left long, tightens 5 over crest. 80. 6 left. To keep middle of a crest, 30. 6 right, 30. Jump into 4 left, tightens 3. Through narrow gate. 3 left. And keep right, into 1 left, into 6 left, jump, into 5 left long, into 6 left, extra long, opens over crest, jump, 3 right, 50, bump, opens long over jump, tightens, 20, keep left, into 5 right, very long, tightens, and 6 right. 60, 4 left long, caution, 4 left over crest, 100, early 5 left over big crest, 60, right rear puncher.
So that was a bit of a best of Dirt Rally 2. In my opinion, the most immersive rally sim, even though EA Sports DiRT has better physics. It is not, to me, as immersive when driving it. Well, that brings me nicely into the next point. What's next for the channel? Probably, I have to say, Project Motor Racing, which launches in the end of November. Probably I will get it maybe at the beginning of December when the first reviews are up. Because of recent events, I'm not pre-ordering anything anymore. Anyway, why am I excited for it? Honestly, I thought the biggest sim that could interest me this year would be AC Evo, but it is not. I follow the early access. I have not bought it, and it feels sterile and lacks immersion. I mean, there isn't even any tire smoke yet, which is it is such a minor thing. But as I discovered with the rally side, the physics are only one piece of the puzzle. They have to be good enough. It has to be plausible to the feeling. But it is not everything. I drive sim racing and sim rallying to immerse myself into the situation, and the more immersive it is, where the physics play a part in, but they are not everything, the more immersive it is, the better the experience. And the last leapt the traditional sim racer on circuits that managed to give me that feeling was Project Cars 2, which was super immersive. It has a lot of spectacle. It has a vicious feeling in the visuals. You have dirt building up on the car. You have effects on the windscreen that make you feel more there than many of the other sims. Because if you've ever driven a car on a racetrack, maybe in a little motorsport event, maybe on a track day, I don't know, but you will have discovered that that is not a sterile, clean experience. It is rough. It is, you get a lot of impressions around, but got a lot of things happen around you. I still remember when I went on a track day for the Nordschleife that I got a huge rock chip on my hood from driving through the foxhole compression, because there is shit on the road, there is shit on the side of the road, there are other people driving around, things happen, you feel that you're pushing through the air. And when I see stuff like iRacing or stuff like AC Evo, it just looks so, forgive the word, but simulated. it doesn't check the immersion box. Project Cars 2 had the best memories, and I think it was the last circuit racer that I actually enjoyed before I mostly only drove rally simulations on my SimRacing rig. But now Project Motor Racing seems to be the true Project Cars 3 from the same developers, without an overseer company that ruins the vision. And I don't trust promises anymore, but if they deliver on what they are currently promising, this seems to be like a truly immersive circuit racer where I could really enjoy myself in. They have a class structure, they have a limited roster of tracks on at the beginning, and they say they want to expand that based on historical classes there where people are fans of, without any official licenses, which I think is a good thing, because licenses, I feel like they tie you down to having to cover a certain amount of content, like all the current cars and all the current tracks or stages or rally events. And if you just focus on a roster that brings in fans and good memories, you first of all increase your market, because more people are interested to buy your simulator. And second of all, you're not tied down if you don't want to implement something. If you feel like, half of the current calendar is uninteresting, but we still have to do it because we have the license. Yeah, that is one of the things. The other thing is they are open to mod support, and they claim to have VR like on release, I think. Having all of that in mind in development, and the trailers look truly like a improved Project Cars 2, I have to say. Yeah, check that out maybe if you are interested in circuit racers. If I like it, if I like what I see in the reviews, you might probably see some content about Project Motor Racing on this channel closer to Christmas, I guess. But that leads me now into a little, let's say, wish list, vision for the future. What I think the best rally simulator, the best rally game I can think of would look like. Actually, based a lot off what Project Motor Racing is doing. Because you don't need a full WRC calendar. You don't need the WRC license, especially the current one, because the WRC has become quite boring in terms of what they offer. Not in terms of competition, it's actually quite close in the current championship. But we have 2.5 manufacturers that are actually building cars for the top class. This is not. I don't think this time of the WRC will be remembered as one of the greats will be remembered like the Group B of the 2020s. I don't think that's gonna happen. So why bother? There are historic classes, and also looking besides the World Rally Championship, there are other series of classes that have a lot of fans, a lot of following, that could also bring in potential buyers. Now, I'll try to kind of draw an image of how I would approach this. First, limit the scope of an initial release. I would pick 5 locations, 5 rallies, and that's enough for an initial release, focusing on gravel physics with one tarmac event to kind of validate that your tarmac and gravel works on the same physics engine, but very very smooth tarmac. The rest all gravel, focusing that you nail down the physics and nail down the foundation. My selection of those events would be, first of all, Finland for fast gravel, and because of the heritage and the European fans that will recognize it, the jumps and stuff. Nailing down the physics that they feel proper, like in WRC, and not like in Dirt Rally 2, which oftentimes had very funky aero for big jumps, I would say. Then I would pick the Rally of the Azores, which is an island of Portugal. You might not have heard of it, but it is, I think, the most picturesque rally event that ran in the European Rally Championship. Paired with that, the Rally of Portugal itself on the mainland, because it is gravel and has tarmac mixed in, and a lot of twists and turns. Number 4, I would say Japan as the tarmac event. Very smooth tarmac, but very very curvy, very many corners, very picturesque in terms of environment. And finally, maybe most importantly, the USA. Why? It is honestly not culturally important for the rally fans, for the rally core crowd. But what Project Cars 2 has also shown is that to make an economically viable product in the sim racing world, you don't go after only your core fans, because the money you will make by doing that is not enough to make the best product possible. If you draw in more fans, people that are just maybe interested in the sport, you build a much bigger foundation to make the product for the fans that much better, and even create new fans of the sport. So the US, with a huge market of car enthusiastic people that have money to buy games, and they do have a rally series, the American Rally Association. So one of those events to put in a rally sim would be superb to draw in new fans and supporters. The event I would choose there would be the Oregon Trail Rally, as it is picturesque with volcanoes of the Pacific Northwest in the background, and also very easy. Please, American fans who might watch this, if you've never seen other rallies, watch some onboards of European rallies. The Oregon Trail Rally, I've seen some onboards. It's easy. It is very wide roads. It's not too demanding in the driving. The most danger comes from the drops. You shouldn't go off the road there. And even then, if there's just grass, it's are easy to recover, especially in a game. I think driving it for real would be much more difficult because you have real fear of going down the mountain. But driving it in a game, I think it would be perfect because it is easy. It is a US location, with great visuals, and it doesn't punish newcomers to the sport. You pick up this new rally sim which covers the US as one of the locations. It's not the punishing event if you drop into the US rally as your learning ground or for tutorials or whatnot. Yeah, that would be the roster. Now for the structure, and I think that is even more important. I will pick the Azores as an example here. What I would do is model the super special stage of every event, because it is probably a great foundation for some online racing, although online will probably be better in asynchronous events, but it also captures the fan base and how you can watch real rally events. So model the track of the super special stage and then just pick one iconic stage of the event. Model that. But don't stop there. Model some of the roads connected to this iconic stage that you've picked and kind of create a miniature open world with like a miniature road network, very limited. I'll pick Azores Sete Cidades. Is the most, without a doubt, it is the most iconic stage of that rally because it goes on that crater rim, on the Sete Cidades crater. Watch some videos, it's truly beautiful. And if you look here, like right on the mountain, there are many roads that lead into this stage. Yeah. If you model some of those and form loops with those that come back to the main stage, you have a little road network. Now what I would do for other stages than the iconic one is just chunk this up at the intersections and kind of create a random stage maker, I would say. Maybe even a custom stage maker that you can pick which intersection goes where, which kind of builds on the idea that DiRT 4, I think, was with the procedural generated stages tried to implement, which felt very out of character. But if you have real roads and just connect them in different ways, you get a lot of unique stages to drive. You might recognize roads, but every intersection that you drive in different direction with different speeds coming from different areas makes it feel different, and you have to listen to your co-pilot that way much more deliberately, because you cannot just learn a stage, or at least try to look at the stage in the service park, what's coming up, what do you expect, where are the difficult intersections to watch out for. If you just model, like, I would say 30 kilometers of roads, like actual roads per rally location, that should be enough to connect in, I think, hundreds if not thousands of different ways, if you just have like a bunch of intersections to connect it. That way you could create much more interesting rally weekends, rally events to drive with unique stages, without breaking the bank of actually modeling all of the real life stages at all of the different locations. And this approach also offers kind of an addition in the game modes. I would say. First of all, you could open up this whole mini road network for open world driving without stage times. Just drop in a car and drive around, which also would allow you to do real life accurate recce. Just drop in some recce cars to drive around in without time controls, without resets at intersections, just on the mini road network. You can drive around, you can do recce, maybe edit the pace note of that road section to your liking, and yeah, have fun on that route, which in turn also opens up more fan base. Because trust me, there will be people who just go into that game for this recce open driving mode. Just like a lot of people got excited for AC Evo's Nürburgring open world section. If you have people with some road cars, you start with a selection of some road cars, people driving around this mini road network, they will have fun, they will record some drift sessions on the Japanese mountains, or go off-roading in a pickup truck on Oregon Trail hillsides. That opens up gameplay to play around in. Like what people do with BeamNG Drive, for example. That's not a real game. It doesn't have a real game purpose or drive. Still, it is popular as a sandbox to play around in. And the more of those corners you tickle, the more customer base you could build with such a product. So far for the events. 5 events with that structure, with a limited roster of cars too. I would go for Group A, and R5 would probably be a very nice starting selection. And then you could introduce DLCs or expansions, call them what you want, to further development, which also verifies if the product is viable, if you make enough profit to keep on developing. And with every expansion you introduce new features, new things that cannot be introduced by mods. I should clarify. That's why I said focus on the gravel physics first. That way, further on, when you have verified that this is a viable product, that this makes enough profit to keep your lights on, then you focus on the other surfaces to hook them up into your physics engine and bring out new classes that had iconic events on those surfaces with, I don't know, a class and 2 rallies, or 2 classes and 3 rallies. I could see, for example, a snow expansion, bringing in the World Rally Car 2.0 liter classes in cars, and definitely modeling Sweden. At some point Sweden has to be in such a game, but also maybe a rally like Snowdrift of the US, or the Rally of Norway, which for 2 years I think was the snow event in the WRC, or in 2021 there was the Arctic Rally Finland, which is also the snow event. You could model Norway, Sweden and Finland as snow events, expand the physics with snow events, which then brings in modders that make more snow events, and bring in new cars. If you tie that together, that also justifies people buying into your cars, even though they could probably get them with mods, because what they couldn't get is the physics engine enhancement if you bring in new surfaces. Same thing for like muddy roads, really dusty roads. So you could bring in Kenya or Côte d'Ivoire, or something like rocky red dirt muddy roads. So you could bring in Australia and now the new Rally of Paraguay. I think you get the picture. This way you can bring out expansion after expansion after expansion, actually adding to the game, which is still moddable and could grow a huge community like the original AC has done, or bring in a lot more fans to the sport, like the Project Cars 2 has done with SimRacing. Yeah. Lots of talk. Let me know what you think. Actually, it was longer than I thought. I hope you understand what I mean. And I will see you. I don't know whenever I feel like doing a video again. But yeah, see you around. Cheers.